Hi, welcome back to Emotion Tamer. Today we are going to be talking about how to talk to our children about emotions before the emotions hit. I'm really excited about this because this is the really practical application, which is what I'm a big fan of. And we're joined by my daughter today, who thinks it's funny that she can see herself. So, can you say hi?
Hi.
Say hi. Okay, so we're going to talk about how we learn about emotions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what emotions are?
Yeah.
Do you know that when you're happy, that's an emotion?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in a study done by Lammy and Lammy, this study where they had parents read a book and play with these stuffed animals with their kids for 30 days. And through the 30 days, it taught emotion validation, it taught about different emotional feelings, and all of the parents, or I think 80% of the parents at the end reported that their children had better emotion regulation, as well as the parents were better able to help their children through their emotions. So this is great that they have this book and this resource created, but the resources, I looked it up and it's like $180. And for some people that seems really out of reach. And so I did some research as to some other ways that we can help teach our children about emotions with with activities that are going to be either cheap or free. So the first one that we can do to help teach our children about emotions is reading with our children. Now, in a study that was recently done, they looked at parents who just read with their children, who just read books with their children, versus children that there was no intervention. And the children who were read to at the end of the 2 to 3 week period had greater emotion regulation. So just by reading to your children will be able to start recognizing emotion and be able to learn how to regulate, because stories are a great way to learn. So this is one of Nayeli's favorite books. She really likes Corduroy. And we can talk about, as we're reading it, we can talk about how, oh, he's sad. He lost his button. How would you feel if you lost something? And then he goes and looks for it, and then he gets scared because he falls off the bed and gets hurt. And then he's scared because somebody's looking for him. Oh, sorry. I'm not even showing you guys the pictures. I'm so sorry. And then, so now he's scared. And then he gets put back in the shop window without his button. So he thinks, I'm never going to get bought. And this little girl comes to find him. And she takes him home. And at the end of the book, you can see that he's smiling. And so that's one way you can talk to your kids about emotions, is through reading books and kind of just talking to them about what the book says. Now, there are some books that are specifically about emotions, and you can just find them at your local library. So this one, Happy Hippo, Angry Duck, goes through all these different, this is a good one for toddlers, goes through are you as happy as a hippo, or are you as angry as a duck? Or maybe sad as a chicken, or as grumpy as a moose. And so you can talk about the different emotions. You'd be like, do you feel grumpy like a moose today? And it just talks about, it has a lot of great emotion words, which is a great way to teach them about their emotions. So that's a good one. And you can just find these type of books at the library. I looked at my library a couple weeks ago, and they had probably at least 25 to 30 books that start with I feel, or my emotions and stuff like that are children's, for 3 to 5 year olds, perfect for them. So those are great books. Another way to do it is just by reading regular books, right? So this is a book that you would read to a little bit older children, like 4 to 6. And as they go through their bear hunt, you can look at the pictures of the faces, which you're not going to be able to see them very well, but you can talk about oh, she looks a little bit worried, and she just fell. Uh-oh, so how does she feel? She's going to feel sad because she got hurt. So you can kind of look at books like that. So honestly, reading is one of the very best things you can do if you're trying to teach your children about emotions and emotion regulation. And you can even, another research article talked about how parents who just played with their children and just gave them what's called joint attention. So you just are paying attention to what the child's paying attention to. Children who did that, their parents, so children and parents who play together, it actually increases their emotional intelligence and their emotional regulation. So it could be something as simple as like you're playing dolls with them and their baby's crying. It's like, oh, why is your baby sad? Or what should we do to make your baby feel better? Because they're going to use their personal experience to help in their play. Play is a great way for children to use to kind of take what's going on in their life and put it into a way that they can manage. So play is a great way. Also, you could do something like when you're building blocks and the blocks fall over and be like, man, that's so frustrating when those blocks fall. Like, oh, you worked so hard on that. And so you kind of acknowledge that, like, I understand that you get frustrated from working so hard. Like, doing that acknowledgement is a great way to practice that emotion coaching as well, is as you're playing. And then the third one, there was another study done where a group of nurses, are they not wanting to clip together? Here, let mommy see if I can help you. There we go. They came into a classroom and they taught children about emotions, and they did a program called Emotion Locomotion. And you can actually look up emotion locomotion online and find resources about it. But they taught children, and they did little like crafts and activities with them to help them learn about the different emotions and how people feel different emotions and react differently in different things. And they just did that through crafts and through just talking. And so you could do some crafts with your children. So one of the craft activities is to do these emotion eggs. So each egg has different eyes and a different mouth. How does he look?
Green.
He looks green? What do you think his face is saying? Is he kind of maybe surprised?
Yeah.
Yeah? What about this one? Do you want me to put that one together for you? What does his face say? How do you think he feels?
Happy.
He feels happy. What about this one?
He's angry.
He does look angry. I don't know if you can... The purple and blue don't work great, but anyway, he's got an angry face. And then this one, how does he look?
I'm lonely.
What?
He looks lonely.
Lonely, yeah, he's sad. He looks lonely. And so by you playing with these, you can talk to your children about different emotions, and then they can even take, so like, I don't know about you guys, but we always have a bunch of Easter eggs left over after Easter. You can take the tops and the bottoms apart, and you can make, like, oh, look how sad he is. Oh, he looks like he might cry, huh? And you can go, so he was sad. Now look how happy he is. He looks excited. Doesn't he look excited?
Yeah.
And so you can let them play and mix and match the faces and make different emotions based on that. So those are just a few of the examples. The last one is something called a mood meter. So they're starting in a lot of classrooms that teach, like, that focus on social emotional learning. They have this thing called a mood meter, which is 4 quadrants, and each quadrant represents like a different like range of emotions. So there's the red quadrant, which is like they're mad or angry. The yellow quadrant is happy. The green quadrant is calm or peaceful, and the blue quadrant is like sad. And so then as you teach your children about these different quadrants, they can, like, if you print it off, you can put it on your wall, and they can like touch the quadrant they're feeling, like, I'm mad, I'm feeling angry today. And depending on which mood meter you get, some of them have different faces, some of them have different like emotion words. And so there's like, I'm irritated, or I'm angry, or I'm argumentative. And so there's different words, and they can say like, this is how mad I feel, or I only feel a little mad. As well as like, oh, I feel happy, or I'm excited, or I'm interested. And they have all these different emotions that go into each quadrant. And this is a good way for, like, especially like working with your older children, to help them. You could print out a mood meter and have the 4 basic emotions, and then ask them to write emotions that go along with like angry or sad or happy or calm, and then have them put them somewhere, and then when they're starting to get, maybe they're feeling sad, and you're like, can you go like show me where you're at on the mood meter? And they'll like show you and be like, I'm feeling kind of lonely, that's why I feel sad. Oh, okay, well, what can we do to help with that? And so you can work through them, and it's a tactile way to work through some of those emotions. But honestly, by taking just everyday tasks and everyday moments with your kids to play with them, to read with them, to talk to them about their emotions, you're going to be creating more emotionally intelligent children, as well as you're going to be bonding closer, and so you'll be able to be more of a secure foundation for your children to help them through those emotions and those times. So, as always, is it not wanting to snap together? Okay, well, what should we say? Can we say help, please?
Please.
There you go. So, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share so other people know that, because there's so many people who want to help their children, they just don't know how. And so these are just great resources, and I'm a parent just like you guys. I'm learning the best parent I can be and help my child learn how to work through her emotions, just like I'm trying to work through my emotions. I'll leave links down below so that you can find where the research is from, as well as some good ideas of how to work with your children and their emotions and just different activities. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Can you say bye, Nayeli?